Hi everyone, you're tuned to GG Gaming Gone Mad. Sorry about the late start. Had an absolutely chaotic afternoon. Eskom, you beauties. Thanks. We've had load shedding the whole afternoon. Power ends up coming up just before the show, but by then I've already run to my sister-in-law's place to do the show from there. I need to find out I can't connect to the Wi-Fi network. So we have had a bit of a nightmare on this particular show, but hopefully we'll get things going in just a second. I'm just going to have to pop into my email quickly. You shouldn't be able to see that, but you'll certainly be able to see my face so that I can invite Justin in. He's waiting. He's waiting to get involved, and unfortunately, I haven't actually been able to invite him to the show yet. So I'm just going to be popping on there and sending him the link. But first up, just congratulations to the winners of last week's competitions. Emil, he won the 500 Rand voucher in the live competition. And then we had a split. Scene Bo, the man from Port Elizabeth, he tied with Brad Chislett, and the two of them split the 1,000 Rand voucher because Justin's bet, which was the Jaguares plus 7.5, excuse me, failed to arrive. Now, I was at the game, a brilliant game of rugby. The Jaguares scored 3 late tries to even come close to the handicap. But those who were on the plus 7.5 will rue the one Lions drop goal right in front of the post. Absolutely unbelievable. Good to see the boys on the live chat. Thanks, guys. We'll certainly be up and running with the handicap. I think I'll race home for that one, so we'll make sure we get going there. But thanks for joining us there. I'm going to try and message Justin the link now, and with a bit of luck, we'll have him on in a couple of minutes. But I tell you what, I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi or whatever, but my email is so slow. Everything is absolutely crawling tonight. It's one of those things. Hopefully not a sign that I should not be betting this weekend. But I'm going to pop the link off to Justin now, and with a bit of luck, even the right click is slow on my computer at the moment. It's unbelievable. Just nothing wants to work. But with a bit of luck, we'll have Justin coming in shortly. Let me pop this to him, and he can hopefully join us on the show in just a few minutes. Just a reminder, we do have the handicap show starting at 9 o'clock. Going to be an interesting one. We've got hopefully Sean Nicholas coming in. He's also got load shedding issues. Bad news, Hendrik Swart is out. Thank you, Eskom, once again. Load shedding, he's out of it. Oracle Rugby, he's out of it as well. For a different reason, though. He's moved house, and Telkom are dragging their heels at getting him connected. He has sent through a number of sort of videos type of thing, but not videos, voice notes, and we'll see what we can do. Good to see Kevin Turner on the line. Chris, I see telling the guys we'll be going soon. And Peter Paul, I must just message Justin and tell him that I've sent the link, and hopefully he'll join us. We'll probably keep the show down to a fairly short one tonight because I actually want to race home and try and it's about a 5-minute drive and try and get back for the handicap. Well, let's start off with the competition. I don't know how many of the guys have actually got power out there tonight, but we'll run a little competition for the 500 Rand voucher. Just got to pick one of the games, and let me actually pop onto the GG Gaming website, and I'll have a look for something there. GG Gaming, and we can pick one of the games and just run a competition for the guys in the live chat. We've got Premier League coming up this weekend as well, and just going to have a look, which is the big games there. Nothing too fancy there. You got Everton v Chelsea at Chelsea trading at 9 to 10. So let's run the live competition, guys, for the 500 Rand voucher. If you can predict who's going to win Everton against Chelsea and the total goals in the match, and the draw counts as a result as well. So it's Everton, total goals 3, Chelsea, total goals 3. Or you could say the draw. Don't say total goals 3 because you know you're going to get that one wrong then. So Everton up against Chelsea. That will be for the 500 Rand voucher. No sign of Justin yet. So we'll just share my screen in the meantime, go across and actually have a look at the GG Gaming website. I think you can now see my screen. Let me just double check back there. Yeah, I think you can. I hope you can. So we'll look, share. No, you can't see it yet. Now you can. And let's go and have a look at their Super Rugby matches. There's a couple of games tomorrow morning, of course. And the Chiefs versus Hurricanes. We'll have a look at the handicap on that one now. Chiefs is an interesting one. I know Chris has actually gone for the Chiefs on the handicap. But personally, I'm in the Hurricanes camp here. I think they're going to be too strong for this Chiefs side. Haven't been impressed with the Chiefs at all. But you can see there the money has come for the Chiefs. So there's a plus 8.5 Chiefs, minus 8.5 Hurricanes. Kevin Turner, the first thing with his prediction, Chelsea to win and 3 goals in that game. I know Everton have been struggling this season, so probably not a bad shout there, Kevin. Also, probably not a bad week to get your prediction in, because I think with all the load shedding and the fact that we were late, we're not going to have that many live viewers for the show. So there shouldn't be that many entrants. I just want to pop onto my WhatsApp quickly as well and see if Justin's read his message. And he's there. He's there. Excellent, Justin. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now and join you there. Thanks for joining us. It's been one of those days, absolutely chaotic. We've had load shedding and struggling to get on Wi-Fi, but we're finally on board, and good to have you on the show.
No, good to be here, Brent. Yeah, when I got the call from Kerry, I was on the golf course. I just had to finish my 18, have a quick beer, and then rush on home. But yeah, good to be on the show. Good to chat again.
Excellent. Well, we'll keep it down fairly short, seeing that we're already 10 minutes in and we barely started talking thanks to circumstance. I am just running a 500 Rand competition for the boys, Chelsea-Everton game, or Everton-Chelsea, should I say. The guys have got to predict who's going to win and the total goals. So to win this, you'll have to get the winner, and then the closest to the total goals will win. I'm sure someone will get it spot on, though. And the draw is a runner here as well. I see Emil, who's a winner last week, going for the draw. Kevin Turner, what did Kevin go for? He went Chelsea and 3 goals. And Chelsea and 1 goal, David Znello coming there. But let's talk a little bit of Super Rugby. Justin, what are the big games for you this weekend from a GGGaming perspective?
Again, Brent, the money rate hasn't been flying in early days, and then the caps were all well set. What I've got to say is that generally I find the handicap specifically, the spreads are very well set for Super Rugby, and you very rarely find results within 1 or 2 standard deviations outside of those spreads. So that's why I think punters generally come closer to the week, and then they try to go for a little bit more exotic, like points and whatnot. So for me this weekend, I think the caps are well set, and I've got quite a strong opinion on a lot of the points plays for quite a few of the games.
Okay, and I know one of them you were saying you had an opinion on was the Lions against the Rebels. Now, just to mention to the guys, we are going to run our Twitter competition on this. So also for the guys who catch the show afterwards, I'll bring up the slide quickly at the end. But do you fancy a bit of Rebels total points in this? Obviously, we don't have a line yet, but give us your logic.
Yeah, I think the line will be around 23 or 24 around there, maybe even 25. But I think Rebels will cruise this. My logic is, firstly, I've been opposing the Lions all season. I don't really like them. Secondly, they're blooding a whole lot of new youngsters. A lot of these younger players are good. They're quality players, but they're not proven at Super Rugby level. And I'm not putting past the Lions winning this game or even beating the handicap, because, as you know, the Lions can score 40 or 50 on their day. But I just think with the likes of Genya and Cooper calling the shots, you got nice Irani at the back, you got a nice settled Rebel side. I like the coach Dave Wessels, and I reckon that if the Rebels tight 5 can function against the scrum of the Lions and the maul of the Lions, I think the Rebels will do all right, and I think the Rebels will win.
Yeah, I think that battle up front's going to be key. You know, I watched the Lions against Hagiaris last week. I had some great tickets there, I must say. And, I mean, the Lions were very dominant early, but they did step off the gas as well. I mean, I think we must have ended up with about close to 80 points, probably just over 80 points in that game. I think it was 46-39. So it was quite a game. And I wouldn't be surprised to see something similar here in the Lions against the Rebels, perhaps with the Lions perhaps getting out quickly, but the Rebels fighting back.
Exactly. No, I think it'll be a good overs game, and then also the ref is Egon Seconds, who loves to referee a nice open game. I know he's been under a little bit of scrutiny and criticism following his performance at Newlands the other day when the Stormers played the Lions. Yes. So I hope that doesn't affect his style of refereeing. But yeah, I think it'll be a nice overs game, but especially targeting Rebels points. I think, as Oracle would say, I think it's borrow money from your granny time.
Right. Okay. Rebels points. Well, I'll certainly be looking at that one as well. Egan Seconds, I guess, he won't endear himself to Lions fans if the Rebels get up by a controversial decision in the last minute. That's for sure. But yeah, that's going to be a good one to look at. The Six Nations also concludes this weekend, Justin. I see Chris in the live chat is saying you guys are the best price about Wales outright. Wales to beat Ireland, 17-20. You're taking a bit of a position there?
Yeah, again, as I said last week, I know Wales beat the spread against Scotland, and I think I didn't have a bet myself, but I was more pushed towards the Scottish plus. I don't know. Wales have proven themselves, and they've got a lot to play for. And quite frankly, this Irish team has just not been the Irish team of 2017. They're even against France, you know, they're were 26-0 up, and I wouldn't even say they played great. They didn't take their opportunities. I got in play. I got on an Ireland minus 23 or 24, and I don't actually know how that lost. I think for moments they were 26-0 up. They had a scrum on the 5-meter line. They had a yellow card, and then France still managed to score two late consolations to bring that original handicap of 14.5 in for them, which is an absolute miracle if you're on the French plus.
That's it. I mean, I must say, I actually tweeted, and I took a bit of stick for it on Twitter, and that I actually tweeted that Ireland could be pretty disappointed with that performance, I think, because as dominant as they weren't clinical. And I agree with you. I think you summed it up nicely. You said this is not the side of 2017. And I was frankly a bit disappointed in them. I'm trying to think. I know I did lose money on the game, so that made me a bit more disappointed. I can't remember. I think I went high on points at halftime, thinking at that stage that Ireland had a big lead and they would sort of open up either end. And in fact, Ireland battled. I think it was 19-0 at the break, and I needed over 42.5. And I mean, they eventually scored in like the 60th minute. And even then, I still had hope because I thought Ireland will cut loose. And then they made the subs, and it just didn't happen. But my question to you is this: can the Ireland side of 2017 return for the World Cup later this year?
Jeez, I don't know, Brent. I think now it's a battle for time now. There's 5 months till the World Cup, and there's not many fixtures left for them to gel and bring things back like 2017. But look, they still have the players are there. I still think Joe Smith's a really good coach. So I don't know what's gone wrong. I think part of the problem is Conor Murray, who I rate as one of the best players in the world. I think his Six Nations has been terrible, and he's been extremely off form. I think he had a bad injury end of last year, and I don't know how that's affected him and his combination with Johnny Sexton, but they just haven't been the same. So maybe if those two can find form, it'll be different. But I also think like their ball carriers, Furlong, Ryan, etc., they haven't made the same impact like they did against the All Blacks end of last year, and pretty much also in the Six Nations last year. So I don't know. I think they possibly could, but I wouldn't call them runners for the Rugby World Cup at this moment.
It's quite interesting, though, because if I think of England a couple of years ago were looking excellent. And then last year they had their dip, where I guess you would have said the same thing. England are not the same side of 2016 or 2015. They had their dip last year, but they sort of pulled back up now. And I guess Ireland will be hoping to do something similar, but you know, to not much time between now and the World Cup, I guess, is the problem. And as good a coach as Joe Schmidt is, I'm kind of quite happy at the moment that at one stage I was thinking of ploughing into the Ireland sort of 33-10 to win the World Cup. And I'm quite happy that I hesitated. But, you know, just on the topic of World Cup, Justin, I mean, you guys must be so excited for that. That's going to be a betting extravaganza, eh?
No, the World Cup is going to be nice. I need to start trying to familiarize myself with some of the minnow teams. This is actually, I think, the first World Cup I'll actually be betting myself, and so I wasn't even betting in 2015. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and also the Cricket World Cup. I'm also looking forward to that. I think that'll be really cool, really nice. I'm also quite a big cricket fan, and I've especially this year got back into my cricket for the first time in a while. So also looking forward to that.
Excellent. Well, I think we'll definitely get a couple of YouTube shows going for the Cricket World Cup as well. You know, we do have quite a few followers on the Good for the Game side. I know Hein Dumont, who's a couch critic, is joining us on the handicap show shortly as well. He's a big fan of the cricket. So I think we'll definitely have to do, particularly as we get to the business end of proceedings, get down to the sort of the quarterfinals and semi-finals, we'll have to do a show there as well. Anything else catch your eye? Just quickly, Varsity Cup Rugby. I know you wouldn't have prices up yet for Monday, but can anyone stop Marty's? I mean, UJ gave them a big run last week.
Geez, obviously the game wasn't televised, so I didn't catch any of it. But one of my best mates is the 10 for Marty's. They're a really good season. I think he could even make the dream team. I was chatting to him after the game. I gave him a ring, and he just said, conditions, it was a little bit slippery out in Stellenbosch, and UJ came fired up. I think UJ have made a little bit of a transformation from the first 3 weeks, so they're playing a lot better. And I think also Marty's obviously took the game a little bit laid back and weren't their ferocious selves. But I did see on WSB that Puka are favourites against Tuks. I know it's at Puka, but I don't know. I think
that's interesting. Hey, that's interesting because Tuks are looking pretty good. I mean, they ran Marty's close. Okay, in Pretoria they went down by 2 points, but I was pretty impressed by Tuks last week against Shimlers.
No, I think Tuks are 13-10. I don't see them losing the game. So if people want to get on that, I don't see that being a losing bet. Or you can get on the +3.5 at 9-10, which is Yeah, it seems like a complete mispricing from them.
Excellent. Well, it's always nice. Gary's the same. He never hesitates to point out another bookmaker, particularly when you can send some winning punters their way. So WSB, you can expect to lay some ticks 13 to 10 there. I'm just going to share my screen for a second, and we're just going to go over there. Can you see the slide there now, Justin?
Yeah. I can see the slide.
GGGaming beat the cert. So what I'm gonna do with this slide is I'll tweet what the points line is sometime on Saturday before the game.
Perfect.
The overs line, I'll take whatever's on your site, say in the hours leading up to the game. And if your bet loses, and in other words, if Rebels go under the points that we're predicting, then the person who gets the closest on Twitter in the Lions v Rebels game, we want to know the game winner and the total points. The person who gets closest will get a 1,000 Rand betting voucher. So you can watch the show afterwards if you want to see this in more detail, but pretty simple. You tweet at Brent Graham, use hashtag GGGaming gone mad, and then I want to see Lions, for example, and 54 points. And the bet you're looking to beat is Rebels overs on the day. So that should be quite an interesting one. That stops sharing the screen there. So Justin, thanks very much for joining us. So he's our Gary at the poker tournament.
Yeah, Gary's still in Joburg. He's actually been up there for quite a while now. I think he's been to and from Cape Town and Joburg 3 times in the last 7 days. So he's been really busy. But yeah, sorry, Brent, just one thing about the beat the cert for last week. Sorry, I don't want to seem like a bad loser. But if you shopped around, you could get Jaguares plus 9.5, which would have cleared the handicap.
No, you're quite right. You're quite right. There was 9.5, and I don't know how closely you watched the game, Justin. And I was sort of rambling on about it before you joined me. But there was a 9.5, and they scored their second last try with about 45 seconds left under the post, and the guy took a drop goal, and he actually hit it under the crossbar, which was quite incredible. So he didn't arrive, and then they went and scored the next try and converted, and they ended up 9.5. But if that drop goal had just gone over, your 7.5 would have arrived as well.
Exactly, but what you got to understand, when you ask me about these certs or whatever, when I go for a certain cap, that obviously means us as a company have sort of taken a stance that'll be a bit closer, and we want the money to come for the Lions in this case. So the handicap is likely to be 2 or 3 points lighter than the market average, if you know if you understand.
Yes. Where I'm coming from. Now I've got you there. Just Clemenco on our live chat asking, where's the poker tournament? At Gary's
Emperors in Joburg.
Yeah, they're one at Emperors. Okay. Guys, there were quite a few guys late to join the show as well. So just to mention, we will finish this off in a minute or two, but we're looking at the Everton v Chelsea game for the 500 Rand voucher. We're looking for who's going to be the winner, the draw being an option as well. So you either got Everton, Chelsea, or the draw, and we want to know total goals. And first judge will be the result, and then we'll use the goals as the tiebreaker there. And that's now in the live chat. So if you're not involved there, guys, you can still get on. And just anything else from a promotions point of view, you were touching on last week. You are going to run some quite interesting competitions going forward. So
I think, Brent, I think that the Rugby World Cup promotion is actually starting from the middle of March and not the beginning of April. So I think that'll now extend every punter to 6 entries instead of 5, and every entry counts. So that's something to look forward to. So spend your $2,000 in a given month, and then send your predicted starting lineup to info@gggaming.bet. If I'm not mistaken, we'll obviously be printing all those predicted lineups out, and then when the All Blacks play South Africa in the opening game, we'll obviously look through all the sheets and see who the winners are. If there's one winner, obviously he'll get the trip. If there are multiple winners, then they go into a raffle, and then the lucky winner gets decided from there. The unlucky winners that obviously don't get selected in the raffle will get some form of free bets. I know Gary will be very generous, so the unlucky winners will receive something. They'll still receive something as well. I'm actually just popping on very quickly. In fact, the video is showing in the background. I'm just popping on, and I'll just quickly share my screen one more time. I just want to pop onto the GGGaming GGGaming page on Good for the Game, where we've got some of your promos up. And let's have a look at them here for the IPL, which is coming up, of course, soon. And here we have a look. Take a pre-match bet on the winning team. If they win by more than 50 runs or 10 wickets, we'll add 50% to your winnings in the form of a free bet. That's how to open an account at GG. I think I'll just bang through here.
welcome. That's a free bet match to see if there's anything else for the IPL. Hit a winner. Bet on the tournament winner. If your team gets beaten in the final, we refund half your stake up to a maximum of 2,000 Rand. So I guess the IPL also going to be a big one for you boys.
No, I've heard via Gary and Ahmed and a few of the boys in the office that the IPL is massive. Apparently, really big money comes in for those each game, which will be exciting. But Brent, I'll chat to Gary. I'll look to get some good Super Rugby promos in for next week. I know we've been a bit slack Super Rugby. Gary likes to do soccer and this and that, but we'll definitely get some nice price boosts and some promos for the rugby up for next weekend.
Excellent. Well, thanks very much, Justin. I didn't realize. I thought I'd keep the show short, but always once we start chatting, we get carried away. So the rugby show's coming up in 5 minutes. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks to the guys on the live chat. I'm going to stay put. I'm not going to try race home and get back for the rugby show. I am connected to the Wi-Fi now. If you are watching the show for the first time, you can subscribe below this video, and we'll see you live in 5 minutes for the handicap, where I know Hein Dumont is joining me. I'm hoping to have Sean Nicholas and possibly an appearance by Hendrik Swart if his Eskom play ball. Justin, thanks very much, and we'll chat next week.
Cheers, Brent. Good to chat again, and yeah, have a lucky weekend. Enjoy it. All the best for the punting, and I'll chat to you soon.
Excellent, and thanks guys on the live chat. We'll see you in a couple of minutes on the other side of this.